Chapter 4. Beckett Sterling left, and the Imperial Guards threw me into a new cell, this time with many other prisoners. Inside the dimly lit cell, I witnessed a prisoner shackled hand and foot, spread-eagled, and hung upside down from a pillar. The jailers laughed and placed bets on how long this person would last. I also saw a man convicted of a serious crime, covered in wounds and shackles, lying in a damp corner. He was clearly still alive, but rats crawled over his body, gnawing at him, while he could only emit faint, guttural sounds. Beyond this, all I could hear all day were screams and wails. Even with my eyes closed, these sounds and images lingered in my ears and before my eyes. If I stayed here any longer, I would break down sooner or later. If I hadn't accidentally ended up in this game, I should be in my warm bed right now, with my parents bustling about in the kitchen. I had never seen such scenes before. A prisoner being tortured outside the cell crawled to my feet, covered in blood, desperately clutching the hem of my skirt, begging me to save him. I froze. Just as I hesitated whether to reach out, I saw him being dragged back by a jailer, leaving a long trail of blood on the ground. The intense hatred in his eyes when he last looked at me remains vividly etched in my memory. I stared blankly at the bloodstains left on the hem of my skirt, unable to regain my composure for a long time. In a daze, the prison gates opened, and Elias Vanderbilt walked in, bathed in faint light. Through the crack in the door, dappled light fell on Elias Vanderbilt, dressed in immaculate white, like the moon hanging high in the sky, looking down from above. The Imperial Guard respectfully addressed him as Mr. Vanderbilt. Elias Vanderbilt nodded, his expression gentle, but his eyes remained as still as stagnant water. Ronald Bennett once showed me kindness, so I've come to see him, Elias Vanderbilt said. The Imperial Guard seemed hesitant, but Elias Vanderbilt still led them to Ronald Bennett's cell. I didn't know if it was my imagination, but when Elias Vanderbilt passed my cell, his gaze lingered on my swollen knee for a moment, as if he were pondering something. He slightly parted his lips, as if he wanted to say something to me, but ultimately, he never spoke. After my fall in the palace last time, my knee had hit the ground. It wasn't a serious injury initially, but after being confined in this damp, cold prison for the past few days, the wound on my knee had begun to fester. Even with several layers of clothing between us, how could he have noticed the abnormality in my knee? A moment later, Elias Vanderbilt emerged from Ronald Bennett's cell. He stood before me, looking at my dirt-covered self with a gentle expression. His plain white boots remained spotless even on the filthy ground. "Miss Silas, how have you been?" Elias Vanderbilt asked softly, his eyes calm and indifferent, as if looking at an inanimate object. Though his words were concerned, they felt icy and distant. "Mr. Vanderbilt, my father?" I was about to continue when I saw Elias Vanderbilt lower his eyes and smile. "Is Miss Silas asking me to overturn Ronald Bennett's case?" Elias Vanderbilt bent slightly, looking directly into my eyes, his smile seeming less gentle than usual. "Yesterday, Miss Silas pleaded with that person from the Investigation Bureau, and today she comes to plead with me. Does that mean she'll be going to His Highness tomorrow?" "Just as Miss Silas may favor me today, she may favor someone else tomorrow or the day after." I truly cannot fathom Miss Silas's heart. Elias Vanderbilt spoke slowly, his expression strange, but when he looked up, he transformed back into the gentle and refined tutor. I almost thought the Elias Vanderbilt I had just seen was a figment of my imagination. While playing this game, I had indeed been indecisive, even wanting to achieve all three endings. Elias Vanderbilt, Beckett Sterling, and Jackson Mercer belonged to three different routes. They probably wouldn't know that. This game world seems to be gradually spiraling out of control. Miss Silas. Elias Vanderbilt stood up, the earlier strangeness completely gone. He said politely and apologetically, "I never involved myself in the investigations of the Imperial Guards or the High Court, so I'm afraid I cannot help you with this." Watching Elias Vanderbilt's departing figure, I finally understood. The gentle and refined royal tutor was not the moon in the sky at all.